Hello again. I'm just going to keep this low again. We're off checking other oddities in Hawaii that I found on the seabed. This is a continuation of other videos I've shown. I'm going to show you this. This is difficult to see, so give me some time to find it. Yeah. If you turn this around in Google, and I make this a little larger, do you see it? Do you see a building? Up it goes, across here, and down. Looks like it has a wall. Looks like a larger structure down here. There are tunnels. There's a tunnel leading to it. It's a mess, but this looks like a city. It's very tall. It looks fairly tall. I'd like the U.S. Navy to take a picture of that and show us if they could, if they think it might violate any national security. You never know. I'll leave that in my best judgment. So that was interesting. It's a larger, taller city that looks like it is a city and looks like it lasted for 11,500 years, which is about the time civilization. Oops, we're going to get civilization sent into land grows. Okay, we're back at the same spot here. I'm unable to find it. I can't seem to find it. One of them looks like a car. It looks like a landing pad with two objects on it, so it's very strange. So I'll leave that as a curiosity for you to look at, because it is difficult to find it sometimes. Here we have something that looks like it's way out there, but it looks like it's it looks like a building, but let me know what you think. Okay, let's rise up off the land a bit so we can see where we are here. Okay, I think this is something that's human-made. It looks like there's some things that are shooting out from it, and it's got a circle here. So to me, this looks like another evidence of human-made structure. I guess there's a bit of a warning with the civilization, because if Edgar Cayce was correct, the civilization used crystals, and you know how we use oil, and we crack or we heat up oil, and in the distillation column, and then the lower volatile molecular compounds rise to the top because they have a very low boiling point, and so these are methane at the top, and butane used as a fuel. And then the lower fractions are diesel for trucks, gas engine cars, and asphalt. Well, in the same way, this civilization had crystals, and they designed them and they made them flawless because they grew them. And then they're about 30 to 40 feet high up, and they're like tall rectangles. I wanted to show you this here. This looks like an object that's caught my curiosity, and also this one here. This looks like something that fell. I'm going to circulate around. So these crystals would then, like oil, they would cut into the crystal so that when the sun hit the crystal, in its quartz crystal, so it would magnify the energy coming from the sun, and it would cause certain frequencies, wavelengths, to come out that they wanted. This looks like an antenna on a mountain that broke and fell. It's yeah, so it looks like something was on a mountain. And so they would send these signals around, and I believe this is one of the stations where they picked up one of the signals. That's my guess. And so these crystals were tuned too high. And so it caused, slowly at first, earthquakes, very slowly. I'll let you look at some other ones here. And, no, I'll do this one here. And so it caused more and more earthquakes, and they didn't know it was caused by the crystals because the beams, like Casey said, can go right through rock and anywhere. And they didn't know until very late that the crystals are tuned too high, and they caused vibrations that were shaking the entire land apart. And indeed, it did take the land right to the bottom of the ocean, and it sort of melted. It did melt mountains, they said. So this is one of the reasons people might think that it might have been a coronal discharge, but that's not the case. And it's not the case that there was an asteroid that hit it. It was a technological mistake made on the basis of thinking that they could generate more energy from these crystals, which they did, but the Earth couldn't handle it. So what I'm showing you here is this looks like something slid down and fell here. I don't know if I can show you to it better. So that's something that that I think is true. And this looks rather circular here. So there's some stuff happening here. I can't make it out, of course. And that looks like it's some sort of building sank or fell. It's a very unusual looking thing. So Atlantis sank because of technological mistake. It was a wonderful, flourishing civilization. They progressed. They had lots of food, and yeah, it's sad because it didn't have to go that route. So I'll just keep this for all of you to look at. I want you to know that this isn't easy to look at because when this sank, I don't know how many millions of people floated in the middle of the Pacific and then drowned. Edgar Casey said there was a man who lived in his house and he retired for the evening. He went up to his study and then he heard a curious noise. He didn't know what it was. And when he opened the door, there was water all around it. So that's a pretty scary thought, but you know, it looks like this is a civilization that sank. So last one before I show other oddities around the world. Again, you see these tunnels going up, and I think they did this on purpose because I'm not certain, but because they could be shattered. I call this the peanut, but you can see there's a kind of an edge here, a sharp edge here. So there was something here that was in the middle, and